Through the dark I'll follow on. With the crew beside me I'll keep reaching for the light beyond the rim.
Smoke had cleared. The fires were out. But the quiet that settled over the colony didn't feel like peace. Inside the med bay, Scarlett lay pale against the cot. One arm bandaged, her breath shallow but steady opposite her. Go'adlo had curled into herself for warmth. Her thick white coat stained with soot and blood, sparky, armor dented and cracked, lay unconscious on the far bed, his pulse thready and weak. They were alive barely. Only one hemorrhaging pack remained after the battle, just enough to stabilize one person. Scarlett didn't hesitate. Give it to Sparky, she told Emma, her voice thin but firm. He took the worst of it. Emma didn't argue. She had seen Sparky fall, seen the way his armor split under that rifle burst, seen the blood soak into the workshop floor. Sparky had saved Sella, had shielded Dylan without thinking. If anyone deserved the emergency supply, it was him. The transfusion steadied Sparky's breathing, a faint color returning to his skin, but it left Scarlett and Go'adlo dangerously low. Emma rolled up her sleeve for her, she said, nodding to her sister, "Let's go." Scarlett tried to protest, but Emma just gave her that familiar look, the one that meant, "I'm doing this, shut up and let me." While the blood-transferred Blower stood quietly in the doorway watching Go'adlo fight to stay conscious. When Emma finished with Scarlett, he stepped forward without being asked. "Hook me up," he told her. His voice was gruff, but his eyes softened when they fell on Go'adlo. He'd known her since she was barely tall enough to carry the bundle of raccoon pelts she'd tried to sell by the roadside. He remembered the day Emma had whipped off her hood and stood between Go'adlo and a pack of boys throwing rocks. The girl had followed them home after that, half frightened, half curious, and never entirely left before Hardy and Natsuki were born. Go'adlo had been like a daughter to them. Now she ran the most successful shop in Scarlett's colony. Blows settled back as the needle slipped into his arm. "You've come a long way, kid," he murmured. Go'adlo's eyes fluttered, the ghost of a smile forming beneath all her exhaustion. Over the next 2 days, the whole colony moved like ghosts, limping, bandaged, bruised. Even the children insisted on helping. Hardy dragged broken chairs into a pile. Natsuki gathered torn clothing and salvageable tools, but the blood was everywhere. Hardy went pale trying to scrub it from the workshop tiles and vomited twice before Emma gently pulled her aside. "It's all right," Emma whispered, brushing her daughter's hair back. "You've done enough." Outside, the air pen stood open and ruined. Scarlett coaxed what remained of the animals back into their shelter. 2 alpacas, a limping muffalo, and a terrified chicken that refused to stop screaming. Sparky, still dizzy but determined, hammered new planks into place, muttering under his breath each time the hammer slipped. Inside, Go'adlo, now upright and flushed with returning strength, decided the colony needed something else entirely. A party, she announced, a proper one. No one argued after what they'd survived. A moment of joy almost felt like medicine. She cooked simple food, rice cakes, grilled megasloths, sweetened berries. Masao dragged a radio speaker outside. Scylla found her old tribal drum. Even Blaze cracked a smile when the first song played. For the first time since the betrayal, Marihari village felt alive again. The party was still humming when Scarlett's communicator buzzed weakly in her pocket. She stepped away from the lights, answering with a tired but wary, "Scarlett here." A familiar voice burst through the static. "Scarlett, well, thank God you were all right." It was Sam Wonder, a mechanic, professional trouble magnet, and one-time long-term boarder at Scarlett's bed and breakfast. She'd stayed so often, Scarlett used to joke she should start paying property tax. "I heard what happened." Sam continued, "Half the region's talking about it. I'm heading your way. Figured you might need a hand putting the place back together." Scarlett closed her eyes, letting out a long breath. Sam wasn't just help, she was home in her own chaotic way. "Yeah," Scarlett said softly, "we could use you." Behind her, the sound of laughter rose as Go'adlo twirled Natsuki in a slow, looping dance. Sparky raised a mug in Blaster's direction. Emma leaned against a post, smiling at her family. Mirahari village had survived.
We've come so far across the silent stars, chasing dawn beyond the edge of sight. And I'll go where my heart keeps calling. Through the dark I'll follow on. With the crew beside me I'll keep